Okay. Okay, here we go. We are live right now. Hello, Menace, Anowak, Genie. How are you guys? Hey, everyone. Hello, Cayman, Eric, Top Boy, Brandon, Hopkins. Hey, everyone. Kind of weird coming back to Red Dead Redemption 2 where we spent like 6 hours the other week playing Red Dead Redemption 1, right? The map just looks a little different even though it's the same map. For people wondering when the Yakuza 0 stream will be, I will do it early next week. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I was just so exhausted doing a bunch of stuff that I just didn't have time to do it. Yeah, Agent, but first I want to work on the Torino and Zero video. What is your thoughts on the US getting rid of pennies? About that, pennies are not going to go up in value, at least not anytime soon, because there's just so many out there in circulation. So people that think that pennies are going to, be more value now because they're, not being made. No, it's not true. But about pennies is, oh God, Cougar here. Pennies are really a kind of useless currency when you think about it. It's like nobody really uses pennies anymore. Like even when I used to work in retail, like people never really paid in pennies. They didn't really ever do it. So it was kind of a useless currency. But here's the thing about pennies, though. I will say this is a lot of companies sell items at like 99 cents, for example, and like the price is not like, exact, like it'll be like 1996 or something like that for like an item. And when you pay for that, how is that going to work exactly? Because companies aren't going to give you a penny more. So that's the only question I have about that. Thank you, Nicholas. But it is actually true. It actually costs more to produce a penny than what a penny is worth. It's actually true. So that's what I'll say about it. Sometimes, what I sometimes wish for? Sometimes I wish that the US would start producing dollar coins more. Like actual dollar coins. Because honestly, I'd rather carry around a bunch of dollar coins than carry around a bunch of dollar bills and have them, like, get all wrinkled and stuff like that. So, personally, if I was to pay in dollars, I'd rather pay in dollar coins than pay in, dollar bills. Do you think we'll get Battlefront 3? Not at least for some time. DICE's focus right now is the next Battlefield game. Oh, well, I haven't done the Saints Row 3 DLC missions yet, Officer Soldierist. What do I think of renter's insurance? What do you mean, Steve? Do you mean like when you pay for insurance and the stuff is supposed to protect it in your apartment from like robbery and damage to the unit? Is that what you're talking about? Let me actually go start a bounty here. Pro, I know you mentioned how there should be a GTA Liberty City Stories game set before GTA 4 released 3 years after GTA 6, but I don't think Rockstar will do that because they take years to make one game now. Well, to be fair, though, they would be reusing the GTA 4 map. They would just be remaking it, similar to how Red Dead Redemption 2 remade the New Austin and, New Austin map and West Elizabeth map, too. Well, I think that, I think that renter's insurance is not necessarily a bad thing to have. I did have a case once with renter's insurance. I actually got a payout from it, but it wasn't a payout from my own. It was a payout actually from another guy's insurance. So basically, a couple years ago, what happened was, this really sucked because I was going to visit my family. And I visited my family, and, like, the first day that I visited my family, like, I left my apartment, I was, back in New York visiting my family, I get text message that there's a fire, smoke alarm going off in my, apartment, fire alarm. And I was like, what the hell? And I texted, like, the apartment staff, and I was like, can you guys go check it out, see what's going on in my apartment? And what basically happened is, the guy that was upstairs, the unit that was right above me, he went into his bathroom, he plugged in the sink, and then he left the sink running on really hot water, like the hottest setting possible, where the water was almost like boiling, and the sink's overflowed. And then what he did was he went on a Zoom call for 2 hours. So I don't know what the hell he was doing, but basically 2 hours just nonstop hot water being poured on the floor, and basically that hot water seeped into my apartment, and actually seeped into my, smoke alarm, fire alarm thing in the ceiling, and it went off. And it started, then it went off on the hallway, and it woke everybody up at, like, 9 o'clock in the morning. And my neighbors all got pissed at me because my alarm was going off, but it wasn't even my fault, because I, like, woke them up in the morning. It wasn't even my fault. It was the guy that was above me. But, basically, the water, like, seeped into my, through the ceiling into my, apartment, and it destroyed my bed. Like, my bed was ruined. Like, the hot water was all over there. But what I will say about this is maybe it was actually a good thing that I was visiting my family, because that water, that really hot water, landed exactly where I would have been sleeping. So literally, I would have been splashed with, like, really hot water if I was, while I was sleeping. That would have really sucked, and maybe I would have gotten a burn or something. But anyways, what ended up happening is, I complained to my apartment, the apartment company, and they fixed my ceiling. They also fixed the tiles in my floor, because my floor tiles got destroyed by the really hot water, because after it, fell down here too. And what ended up happening is the guy who was responsible for the damages, he paid me out. He paid me for, like, a new comforter, a new bed, new bed coverings, new pillows, everything like that. His insurance company paid me out. I actually got a little bit more than what my bed was worth. Not that by that much, but a little bit more. So I had, like, a whole new bed replaced. And I had to sign, like, a document that was, like, that I'm not going to pursue any more damages and stuff like that. And that was, that was basically it. But that was, that was the experience I had with, like, renting insurance. How strong is your internet right now? Oh, it's really good. Is my internet lagging again? Oh, I got a bunch of donations. I'm sorry, I didn't see. Is my stream okay, guys? What's going on with my stream? Hey, Pro, I started this Red Dead Online, month at rank 275 and at 30,000. I'm now at rank 285 and almost at 50,000. Thank you, Slothbosh, CJ, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see the donations earlier, guys. I'm sorry. I was just telling the story and I wasn't looking at the chat for a moment, so I'm sorry I didn't see the super chats. Thank you, Slothbosh, CJ. And Red Dead Online has so much potential, but unfortunately the game's is abandoned. But it's still fun to play with your friends, Sloth. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Golden Stripe. What's your opinion on people who speedrun GTA San Andreas? And have you ever watched anyone, a GTA San Andreas YouTuber and Twitch streamer I watch a lot, Josh and Muzz? I haven't really ever watched that many speedrunners. The only speedrunner I've ever watched really was Dark Viper AU. That was really the only speedrunner. Dark Viper AU is a friend of mine, so we talked a bit before, and I've watched his videos. He's watched some of my videos, but I haven't really watched any speedrunners besides him. What do you think about the massacre Mughals did in India, where they killed 10,000 Sikhs, and some reports even claim the death toll to be over 40,000? Mughal Empire was evil. It was, imperialistic, evil empire. Did some really, really horrible things. Thank you, WRV, for being a member of my channel for 2 years. Oh, and thank you, Zombie, my stream keeps on ending? Wait, refresh the stream then, guys. If you guys can refresh the stream, it should fix the problem. I don't know why it's doing that. This has happened already a few times. I'm getting a bit frustrated with the stream, doing this. I'm gonna check out my stream for Sunday to make sure this doesn't happen, guys. I'm really sorry. If it happens, just refresh the page. I'm really sorry. I'm getting a bit frustrated with the stream doing this too. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm gonna take a look at my settings after the stream today. Oh, and thank you, Zombie Spiral. Thank you, dude. $100 donation. Wow. Thank you, dude. Largest donation today. Special shout out there to Zombie Spiral. Thank you, Zombie. Thank you for the $100 donation. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks, man. You are awesome. Hey, Pro, how have you been? Can we get a little hint on what your next lore video will be on? And random question, do you remember the old GTA Mysteries rumors such as UFOs and Bigfoot in San Andreas and Ratman in GTA 4? As always, keep up the great content, man. Thank you. Thank you, Zombie Spiral. My next lore video, I want to do one on Reznov in Black Ops 1. It just, when I finish Days Gone, because Days Gone is almost finished, it'll be a lot easier for me to put out these lore videos. But I want to do a lore video on Reznov in Black Ops 1, and I want to do a video on Tucker in Days Gone, and I wanted to do a video on, Carlos in Days Gone also, like a few of the characters, because I know the Days Gone lore pretty well. And so I was figuring I could do some lore content on that. And if you're wondering about San Andreas lore, in June I'll have a pretty big San Andreas lore video, but it'll be near the end of June. But the San Andreas lore video that I'll have in June is I'll have a lore video on Zero and Berkeley, exactly. And there are some things about Zero and Berkeley that you might not have noticed. There's some things that a lot of people didn't notice in when it comes to their interaction, and I'll talk about it. But there's something that Zero is hiding from CJ. He's not really telling CJ the whole truth. But I don't want to really spoil that. But I'll basically explain it. And my stuff isn't clickbait. I have a pretty good amount of evidence for the stuff that the stuff that I'll say about Zero and Berkeley. But Zero's not telling the whole truth about Berkeley. But I'll explain that when I make the lore video coming up. Stream keeps ending for me, and it gives me a recommended video. I'm really sorry about that. Guys, again, I'm really sorry about the stream problems. I don't know what's causing that. I have gig speed internet, so I don't know. My internet is super fast. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gonna check the only thing I could think of, it's either one of two things. It's either my OBS settings or it's YouTube. It's either one of those two things. It's definitely not my internet. My internet is good. So I'm gonna check my OBS settings when the stream ends today and try to hopefully make sure this doesn't happen again. What happened? Ads keep playing during the stream. No, Nicholas, I'm not doing that. I only have my ad that's at the start of the stream. But when the stream crashes for like a moment and then you refresh the page, the stream basically sees you as like being a new viewer coming to the stream the first time. And so that's why an ad plays. I'm sorry about that. I'm on mobile. Oh, okay. Well, there's nothing wrong with being on mobile. Thank you, Cayman. Thank you, Golden Stripes, for being a member of my channel. And also, you asked me about the GTA mysteries, like the UFOs and Bigfoot. A lot of them were nonsense. People also thought that there was like a serial killer in the woods. People thought that in San Andreas, but that never, was the case too. I don't think I ever really believed any of those GTA rumors, Zombie Spiral, the UFOs, or any of that stuff. I think it was just, rumors that people were saying. I saw the Max Payne movie a long time ago when I was a kid. That was Mark Wahlberg. I remember that one. No, I'm sorry, Zach. I haven't had the time. Oh yeah, I'll do one on him, Josh. will you still give Mind's Eye a chance after all the bad reviews? Mind's Eye, it hasn't come out yet though, right? It's coming out in June. What, it already has reviews? There's already reviews for it? What have the reviews said?
Oh, Marcel, quel talent. I have some ideas.
Okay, here we go.
I was wondering when you were going to get here. This is a good batch, of course. They are all good batches, but this one is superior, eh? I have found a buyer who will appreciate...
Again, guys, I'm sorry about the stream having some issues today. I'm gonna check out my OBS settings after the stream today to make sure it doesn't happen again. I'm getting pretty frustrated about it too. Tommy Vice, remember the name. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna open up the posse to make more room for people in a moment here. Is Colonel Garrett evil or an anti-villain pro? It's a very difficult question to answer. Some people think that he's a good guy. Other people think that he went insane. Oh, TJ, what happened? Have I played Manhunt? Yes, I played Manhunt 1 and 2. I'm just gonna keep going. Oh, okay, TJ. I was able to fix my GTA 5 save glitch. I downloaded a save from a friend on PC. I put the save on a USB and put it on my PS5. That worked? Oh, well, that's good then. I'm happy you were able to save your game, Golden Stripes. You know the trailer song for GTA 6 trailer 2? Its music video viewership increased by 30% just because of the song featured in the GTA 6 trailer. I know about that, but here's the thing is, that music company, I have some massive problems with that music company. And the reason I have some massive problems, they copyright claimed my my video, and the thing is, for 2 weeks, there was no copyright claims for like 2 weeks, and then out of nowhere, the video gets copyright claimed. I was disputing it originally, and now the video gets copyright claimed, and I can't dispute it anymore. The reaction to GTA 6, I'm pissed about that. Stream keeps crashing on mobile. Is it UMG again? It's not UMG. I think it's SME, Sony Music Entertainment, that's doing it. But I'm probably gonna have a video talking about it, but it is pissing me off. It's really annoying. Oh my God! Another $100 donation from Zombie Spiral. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Zombie Spiral. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Special shout out there to Zombie Spiral. It's $200 in a couple minutes. Thank you, dude. I've also noticed you enjoy my favorite show of all time, Sopranos. I've watched you play the game. 2 questions about the show. First, who do you think betrayed Tony? You mean at the very end? It's probably Butch. Butch is probably the one who did it. You know, people think that Patsy did it, but Patsy really has no reason to do that. Like, you know, Tony, you know, Patsy, Tony's son just married, I mean, Patsy's son married Tony's daughter. So he's gonna have a really high position in the family because of that, so there's really no reason. I know he's pissed on his brother's death, but there's really no reason for him to, after all these years, to just, you know, turn on Tony, so it's probably Butch that did it. And let me read the other part of your question. Do I think that Phil was secretly gay? There's a conspiracy theory he killed Vito. He was in the closet. No, I don't think that. I think the reason that, like, because when Phil has Vito killed, there's, like, you know, the part when he's, like, holding, like, the bed with his hand tightly. I think the reason for that, I don't think he was, like, secretly gay. I think the reason that Phil did that was because Phil had, like, a little bit of a conscience in the back of his head because, like, Vito was one of his friends. Like, because, like, even before, like, Phil had Vito killed, Vito was, like, one of the people that was, like, very friendly with Phil beforehand. Like, Phil and Vito knew each other pretty well beforehand. And so, like, Vito helped Phil out a lot of times when he needed it. And so I think that was kind of like that a little bit in the back of Phil's mind, that he finally felt a little guilty over that. But in the end, he didn't regret what he did to Vito. So that's what I'll say about it. That's my view on it. Oh, and Zombie, you told me that you were in Alaska, right? That's where you were? What's so shocking with the Minecraft movie, Jonathan? When will I announce the Kane & Lynch 2 multiplayer stream? Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll make a post. Tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll make a post, check my post section, and I will announce the date that the Kane & Lynch 2 stream will be. We're gonna play multiplayer. It's gonna be sometime next week. I don't know the date, but sometime next week. And we will do the Kane & Lynch 2 stream then. For anybody that plays Kane & Lynch 2 Dog Days on Xbox, you can join me. I'll be doing a stream of it next week if you want to join me on it. Recently bought the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. That's a great game. I love the Ace Attorney Chronicles. David Chase said it was intentional for Phil to be in the closet. Well, I didn't know about that. It's the first time I'm hearing this one, but... Wait, what? That's horrible. When did this happen to Jackknife? Kane & Lynch 2 was a very hard game, yes. I will admit to that. Kane & Lynch 2 is a very difficult game. My god, that's horrible, Logan. You mean extreme difficulty on Kane & Lynch 2? Extreme difficulty on Kane & Lynch 2 is very difficult. Yeah, Kane & Lynch 2 are great games on co-op. I'm sorry your stream is a little glitchy. I hope you can fix it. Again, everybody that's come by today, I'm really sorry about the quality of the stream today. I'm gonna take this has happened already a few times. It's not my internet connection because I have gig speed internet, but I'm going to check my OBS settings today and just hopefully this doesn't happen anymore in the future. But I'm really sorry, everyone. If the stream crashes or anything, just restart the stream. Sorry about that. Just refresh the page and you'll be back here. It's not you, it's YouTube. Does this happen to other YouTubers? Like the stream glitching for me. Does this happen to other YouTubers also, guys, or is it only me that this is happening to? Have you seen it happen to other YouTubers? Because it can only be one of two things. It's not my internet. So it's either YouTube or OBS. It's either one of the two. It's only one of those two. It has never crashed for me, just glitched, huh? Only happening to me right now, huh? Okay, I'll see you then, Jonathan. Explain the evilness of Kenjaku and Sukana. Patrick, who's that? I don't even know who that is. Thank you, Ortonic, for the super chat. Who are they? Are they from like a movie or a game or something? My favorite single player series? Probably Elder Scrolls games. The Canon Lynch 2 Platinum, no. I got very close to it, but I didn't get it Platinum, no. It's from Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, I've never heard of this before. What's up, Brandon? The worst part about Call of Duty World at War is veteran difficulty. Thanks for coming by. Oh, did you see me on your stream, Phoenix? I left a few comments, but I don't know if you saw them. When is Fallout 3 Remastered supposedly coming out? But that would be cool if they did that.
I bet you're not up here paying a social call, huh?
To destroy supplies.
It's so goddamn cold in here. I can't stand it. Carajo. I ought to start drinking. Before I get drunk, okay, here's the job for you. Some fools ain't been paying Flaco his piece. And that ain't a smart thing to do. No, no. They're over at Coulter. Wipe out everything they got. Maybe they don't disrespect again. Quick. And stay warm.
How long is Days Gone? Well, if you do all the side activities like me, probably over 60 hours. 50 hours. We're kind of like, where I'm at on my Days Gone playthrough, I'm like 70% through the story. So it's like the final chapter, but there's still a lot of stuff to do. Okay, I'll see you, Jonathan. Yep, when summer break happens, a lot of people are very happy about that. Let's save one of the crates for last. Don't destroy all of them at once. shells. Okay, come on. Do I think Martinez and Lance will get rebooted in Vice City in GTA 6? No. I think Phil was like a one-off character, but about Phil, I'm gonna have a video on him. It's not gonna be a very long video, but I'm getting really pissed at a lot of clickbaiters, because there's a lot of clickbaiters that are saying it's Phil Cassidy from GTA Vice City. No, it's not. He has an arm. It is a reboot. That is what it is. But so many of the clickbaiters are spreading false information about Phil, and it's starting to piss me off. I'm not talking about you, Angelo, by the way. Just, you know the clickbaiters I'm talking about. The people that are spreading misinformation about Phil in GTA 6. I have a suggestion, but probably not going to do it. What's your suggestion, Ephelist? They should reboot Mario from Tommy's Gang. I told myself, Mario, take it easy. Do it. I told myself, Mario, take it easy. That's more how he says it. I remember that too. Thank you, Bunny, for that super chat. It's going good. I haven't completely started it yet, Kevin, but I'll do it, and I'll do a really good video on it when I'll do a really good video on him. Hey, hey, it's Mr. V. I remember that one too. I'm really enjoying the Days Gone playthrough. I beat it on PS4 and bought it on PC. Thank you, Ant-Man. It's a great game. Read my comment, please. What's your question? April? Oh, Stitch? I thought Stitch died in Cold War, but I guess he's back now in Black Ops 6. Do I think there will be a Days Gone 2? Probably depends on the, It probably depends largely on the success of the remaster. You posted it? Let me look. F-list, It's where you react to retail rant videos, Fantavision's retail rant series, and provide your thoughts on it, similar to how you react to greedy streamers or react to comments. I could do something like that, F-list, but I would also like... I would preferably like to do a video on reacting to my streamers or my viewers' comments. More of it. Because personally, I don't like the idea of just, like, reacting to people's videos. More of it, because I don't like to see myself as a reaction channel. But, like, the series I did with, like, the comments on my retail videos, that's, I know, a pretty interesting series. People like that.
Well, I can hardly fault you so far. Could use your help with something. It's all written down there.
Okay, let's see. You got ousted for donating $2 on somebody's stream. Wait, what do you mean ousted? Wait, what happened? Thank you, QC for the super. Can you explain a little more? Kent Paul, maybe. I don't know if there's enough info to do on him, but yeah, maybe I can figure something out with him. People are saying that Jason can be like Brian O'Connor. What, like from Fast and Furious? There's not... I don't know if there's really enough proof for that. I donated $2 to show support, not naming them. And then everyone got pissed that it wasn't $10 and that anything under 10 was unacceptable. Who said this to you? The person's viewers? The streamer? Who was this exactly? You don't have to tell me the streamer's name, but like, was this the streamer who did this? Or was this... But that's messed up, like, trying to guilt people when somebody makes a donation. Like, I'll tell you this, it was a streamer along with the viewers. Well, I will tell you something, I'll tell you right now, that streamer's a scumbag. And, don't watch him again. Don't watch him or her again, don't go back to that channel, whatever it is. Because, I'll tell you something, if a streamer is, you know, getting pissed at you for donating $2, they are not worth your time. Do not, you know, do not associate with that person. Don't watch that person. Don't give him a view. Here's the thing. What I'll say about this is, and this is what a lot of streamers don't seem to understand this. Nobody owes you a donation. Like, when streamers are not entitled to donations, they aren't. And they, like, I've seen some of these greedy streamers where they make arguments and they say, oh, you know, you get free content, so, you know, you have to donate to me. No, nobody gets free content. Here's the thing. The only time that a streamer could make that argument that somebody gets free content is if their channel is not monetized. If their channel is not monetized, maybe they can make the argument that it's free content. But if their channel is monetized, they are not giving free content to their viewers. They're making money through ad revenue. Most streamers and YouTubers make the bulk of their money through ad revenue. That is where the bulk of their money comes from. And so when you are watching a channel, like if you're watching my channel, for example, even if you don't donate to me, you are helping me make a lot of money because you're watching the ads that pop up on my stream and also watching the ads that pop up on my videos. So you're still, even if you never donate to me, you're still supporting the channel. You know, by your views help the algorithm, and also, you know, watching the ad, you know, helps me pay the bills. I get ad revenue from that. And so donations are something extra that, you know, streamers get on top of that. But like for a streamer to just, you know, lash out their viewer and get pissed off at them and say, you know, you only gave me $2, I want $10. It's really scummy, greedy. It's a sense of entitlement, and somebody like that is not really worth your time. That's basically what I would say about it, is that they are not worth your time. Do not watch a person like that. You know, nobody's entitled to a donation. People give you a donation when they like your content, they support you, and you know they want to take that extra step. But to shame somebody for donating $2. And here's the thing: the fact that his viewers were also engaging in that and harassing you for that is really scummy. That's what I'll say too about that. Yeah, I do know a little bit about the story with that Resident Evil 4 Phoenix. But I will say this: if you ever encounter like a streamer that basically like guilt trips you and just says to you, you know, you owe me you're getting free content, just say to them, no, you're not. It's not free content because you're getting paid through ads. You know, you just say that to them. So that's that. You know, don't ever watch like the streamers who guilt trip you. They're just scummy. There's a collectible here. Does anybody see it? No, it's not that. Did you see episode on cops with the two black women, and one of them said she got kicked in the stomach? Wait, this is a cops episode, like the old cops show? You gotta send me tell me which episode this is, Brandon. But that's no, cops cannot do something like that. What's going on? The stream ended? Oh, no, it didn't end. Just refresh the page again. I'm sorry about that. Over here, Pat, where I'm standing. Okay. Wait, where? Got that, okay. Yeah, I know what you talking about, the streamer greedy. I told him you want a free content, be rich, go home, go get a freaking shine box. Good fellas. Thank you for the super chat, Agent Reaper. Guys, if the stream has like issues like that, just refresh the page again. I'm really sorry about the stream doing that. I apologize that it's been doing that. I'm sorry everyone about the stream crashing like that. Just refresh the page if it does it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna check my OBS settings after the stream today to see what's going on. Well, thank you, Minion Dave. I should go stealth or loud and sniper leader, doesn't matter. It depends on the situation you're in, but preferably most of the times you want to do stealth. No, I didn't 100% GTA San Andreas, Mark. Yeah, that was most likely Sonny Forelli putting out a hit on him, Josh. Okay, Brandon. Yes, I'll play the Mafia games. But what's been going on with Mind's Eye? People have told me that Mind's Eye has gotten really bad reviews. Has it? Like, the game isn't out yet, though, right? I'm gonna look at this. Hold on a second here. Mind's Eye reviews. Well, I'm not seeing anything here. I think I'm gonna give the game a chance though when it comes out.
I need some help to town, please. Oh, thank you. Whew. Oh, this is a relief. The doctor in Strawberry, know him? Hopefully, he'll take care of me. What the hell are you doing?
Okay.
I just slipped on a root. Can't believe it. We'll have to come up with a better story than that. My sister will never let me hear the end of this if she finds out. Ugh, this is all I need right now.
I've been playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles in episode 4 at the moment. It's really good, but some of the cases are hard. You think you have the right answer and you don't. Some of them do get very hard, yes. I remember I did mention that streamer in Japan who stole lots of money from one of her loyal viewers, even begging for money. Sadly, the man went broke in debt. Oh my god, that's horrible. Those, you know, streamers like that do stuff like that to their viewers are the worst. Yeah, Hopkins, we'll play that sometime this year.
Thank you. Here, thanks for this.
Bossman is making another low-life clickbait. Michael is back in GTA 6. Comment them. I got harassed. Bossman fans cry about it. Mr. Boss had more money than you, and you can never his level. Well, thank you for the super chat, Agent Reaper. It's not gonna stop. They're just gonna, like, every single day he's gonna try to put out like some kind of GTA 6 video every day. It's gonna be ridiculous. Sorry, but this stream keeps crashing for me. I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, I'm sorry, dude. I'm really sorry about that happening. I'm gonna make sure this doesn't happen on the next stream. I'm really sorry, everyone. I gotta check my OBS settings. But I had, you know, Bossman's fans come to my channel before and tell me that I'm jealous. Like, I'm not jealous, trust me. Will I stream GTA 4 for my birthday? Probably. GTA, June 7th is my birthday, so it's coming up. So about 2 weeks from now will be my birthday. Yep, and we're gonna play the Brothers in Arms games for the D-Day anniversary. We'll do that. Thoughts on Gavin suing governor for gas car ban? Wait, what? You mean California? What gas car ban? Can you explain a little bit more, Zuhair? Thank you for the super chat. Wait for the targets to arrive. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit here. Can you explain a little bit more, Zuhair, what's going on with gas cars in California? What was my first time streaming like, Patrick? Thank you, the greens. What currency is that, by the way? IDR. But I was just some of my older streams were just really bad quality, and it was just like you know, not too good. Just me just randomly streaming games, but you know, now I dress up as the characters, I answer a lot of questions, my quality is a lot better, and Oh, it's Indonesian, rupiahs. Okay. Gavin is trying to sue the government, the U.S. senator, for blocking the gas car ban. Wait, so California is banning gas cars? When is this gonna happen?
Stupid! Come on, lazy whore! Oh my! No, not.
Okay, let's put him in a bounty wagon. I got a bounty wagon coming in. Okay, guys, just put him in here. Make music? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would even be good at making music.
No part of that.
But what was this about the gas cars? Zuhair, did you make another chat? I'm sorry. When is California banning gasoline cars? When is this happening fully? This law, when is it gonna go into effect fully?
God damn it.
My birthday's in 45 days, so happy early birthday, Brian. That's what, yeah, some people are said that California's banning gas cars, but I guess I haven't been following this that much. Oh, what just happened? Wait, what?
Foolish bastard. What a day, huh? Get loose.
What was that? Okay.
Go to hell, you dirty strong.
I've never liked the idea of income tax, Dragon. Personally, I think it punishes people for making more money. So if California is banning gasoline cars, what happens if you own a gasoline car before the ban? Like, what, is the government gonna come and take your car from you? Like, how's that gonna work exactly? And what happens about people who are coming into the state who are not who drive gasoline cars? Like, what happens if like a trucker comes in delivering like stuff, and they're driving like a gasoline truck, you know, a diesel truck? So, you know, how is that gonna work exactly? By about 2035, all vehicles sold in California cannot be gas-powered. The Senate has recently killed the bill. Okay. Well, I will tell you something. That is, here's what I'll tell you. The people that oftentimes support like those bills, like, you know, the banning gasoline cars, are typically people that are upper class, people that typically are either middle class or higher. typically are the people who support, like, you know, banning the cars, the gasoline cars. And they don't really think about the people that live in, like, rural communities, or the people that, like, live in poorer communities, people that don't working class communities, don't have as much money as them. And I will tell you something, this caused, like, a revolt in France, basically. So, if you guys remember, like, a number of years ago in France, there was these yellow jacket protests where, like, and the protests were, like, so big, they were basically all over France. And, these, well, listen to what I'll tell you, Dragon, about this. This is where I mean that upper class people are typically the people that support this, like, you know, banning cars and, you know, going everything electric. And I'll get to my point. But, like, in France, for example, in France, you had the Yellow Jacket protests that happened, like, a number of years ago, and these protests were, like, really big, and people were wearing yellow jackets to, like, symbolize, you know, their belief in the protests. But anyways, what happened was the French president, what he did was he put in a new tax on gasoline. So there was a tax that was going to be going in on gasoline. And the people that lived in the cities in France typically supported it. So the people that lived in the cities, like a lot of the upper class people, they supported it. But a lot of people that live in the cities, like in Paris, drive electric cars already. And those people were not thinking about people that live in rural communities. People who live in rural communities mostly drive gasoline cars. That is mostly what they drive. And they also make less money than people in the cities. People in the cities make more money than people in the rural communities. And so when the dumb French president, when he basically put a tax on the gasoline, what that basically was, it was a tax on the poor. That's essentially what it was. That's why people were so angry about it. That's why people were furious about it. And so, like all the people that were in the cities were, like, saying, oh, yeah, you know, tax and gasoline is going to help the environment. But they didn't really think about the people that were living in the rural communities, the people that were living in the, you know, working class, poor communities, and they didn't think about that. And also, electric cars are expensive. Like, you know, you could find, like, a used gasoline car that's, like, over 10 years old and get a good deal on it, and it's still a good quality car. But, like, try to find, like, used electric cars. They're gonna cost way more money. So, like, trying to force people to drive electric cars, it's really a tax on the poor. That's what it is. That's really... I've never liked the idea of the government trying to tell people what they can and can't drive. I've never liked that idea. It's a, it's really a tax on the poor, is the way I see it. Sounds a lot like what kickstarted the French Revolution. Well, the French Revolution was mostly caused by class conflict. It was like a bunch of really elitist aristocrats in the monarchy basically treating the poor like crap, and the people just got pissed off at the monarchy and they revolted one day, and that's, you know, that's basically what ended up happening. But yeah, let me see. Hang on. Vehicles. Come on, seriously, dude. Okay, well, I'm not dealing with this parlay. Honestly, somebody that shoots somebody in the back like that's a coward. Okay. Yeah, I like The Sopranos ending. When I was a kid, I kind of hated it, but when I got older, I actually kind of liked it more. The whole Mind's Eye bad reviews is content creators who got to preview the game before it came out, and they were making videos basically saying it's not that good. Huh. Well, I will ask them for a copy of the game, probably, and I want to do a playthrough of it in June. I just don't know how I'll do the cosplay, but I'll probably figure something out. Oh yeah, I'll play Medal of Honor, European Assault, Vanguard, and Airborne. I'll play them too, yeah. I hope GTA 4 Remastered come out. I'm really scared and worrying it's multiplayer like they did Red Dead Redemption Remastered. If GTA 4 Remastered does not have multiplayer, I'm gonna be pissed. That I would be really annoyed. I agree with you there, Agent Reaper. I'd be really pissed. Did you hear about the ship that North Korea had that they put in the water? It sank immediately. Yeah. What a disaster. If the gas car ban is true, how will that work? Most people drive the gas cars. The government is probably gonna force them to, the government's gonna probably give them like an extra tax for driving gasoline cars. Let me go to my Moonshine shack. Well, we don't know that yet. It's Snake. I don't know what's going on, if it is or, you know, if it isn't. I guess we'll see what's going on. Do I think North Vietnam ruined Laos? Yeah. I think that like, you know, when communism spread to Indochina, it did ruin a lot of that region. I mean, look at, you know, you had three great countries in that region: Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam, and communism destroyed all three countries. Wherever communism goes, it just destroys countries. Yeah, and communism is probably the worst thing that's happened to Vietnam, because I will say this though, that if Vietnam never went communist, like if South Vietnam actually, you know, survived as a country, South Vietnam today would be as big as South Korea. I do think that. I do truly believe that. I think that South Vietnam would be, their economy would be as big as South Korea today if communism never, you know, happened in Vietnam. But that communism destroyed, you know, Vietnam's economy for like decades. But it was, you know, it was only after like 10 years the communists themselves in Vietnam realized that communism wasn't working, and then they started putting in free market reforms. Those free market reforms were the only thing that kind of saved Vietnam from like falling into complete totalitarianism like North Korea. I don't really know much about them. What is this here? Wait, what are we doing here? Oh man, yeah. This person's definitely watching my stream because of yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah. Good work there. Explosive arrow. Yep, that's it's that. It's they play around with that. Level 1000. Wow, this person really plays the game a lot. Yep. Level 1000. Wow. I mean, I like Red Dead Online and all, but I cannot imagine myself playing that much. Thank you, Joko. There we go. I just killed a level 1000. Oh, there we go. Guys, just parlay the person. When they try to do it again, just parlay them. What I was basically saying was that, like, communism destroyed Vietnam. Like, that's like, what it is, and... Thoughts on the job market on 2025 for college graduates? I don't really know that much about it, Zuhair, but I will tell you my opinion. I don't think that you need to go to college to be successful. I think that's just something that... Damn. I think that is something that gets really, like, overblown. Like, people think in their mind that I'm gonna just parlay the person so I don't deal with this anymore. He's mod level 1000, there's no way. I don't know. I don't wanna accuse anybody of cheating, so I don't know. Maybe he could actually be legitimately level 1000, but regardless, I don't want to deal with this nonsense. I just want to play, have fun with my friends, and I don't want to deal with some moron coming up behind me and killing me with dynamite arrows. Communism, when it first originated in Russia, wasn't so bad for the people that were struggling and starving. You have to get in their perspective. Well, here's what I will say about it, King. When Lenin came to power in Russia, he did give, farmers some land. So farmers had gotten some land and some money, and their lives did improve a little bit better than under the Tsar. That is true. But then Stalin came in, and Stalin was probably the worst thing that ever happened to Russia in its history. And, Stalin collectivized everything. Like, there was no private farms allowed under Stalin. He took everything over. He starved, caused massive famines in, giant famines in Ukraine and Russia, killed millions of people, opened up the Gulag network. And you have to also look at this, is that, what's something that's really ironic about this? It's really messed up, but it's also really ironic. Communists are the biggest killers of the working class. Is that not ironic? That the most amount of working class people have died from communist countries. When you really think about that, isn't that kind of ironic? I know it's messed up, but I'm saying is that working class people have died in such huge numbers from communist regimes, and communists always talk about, the working class here and the working class this, but the most amount of working class people have actually died from communist regimes. Thank you, Agent Reaper. And Golden Stripe. I also found a video of Nico talking about his experience with GTA 4 and Rockstar, and it's rare. It's before he had problems with Rockstar. Could you send me that video, Golden Stripe? But yeah, Michael Hollick was the name. He used to have actually good relationships with Rockstar. He did in the past. What I was gonna say about college, though, is that one thing I never understood about college is that and this is no offense to, like, college students, but one thing I never understood about college is when people, like, graduate college, they expect to have a job lined up for them right away. Like people finish college, and they expect to be given a job, like, right away. And I never understood that reasoning for that. And I've watched, like, YouTube videos of, like, a lot of college students complaining, like, right afterwards that they have a degree and that nobody's hiring them. But, like, what did you expect? Did you think that the degree was going to automatically give you a job? But that's what I'll say about it, is that I never understood that reasoning, how, like, a lot of college students, they think that they're immediately gonna get a job, like, right after college. Why Rockstars didn't do a San Andreas story? Probably because it was too small for the PSP to handle, that giant, like, map. By the way, General, if that idiot comes back after us again, then we're gonna make a private session, just so we don't have to deal with this stuff. I don't understand something. You know, this guy is like level 1000. Why don't you actually put that work into actually helping like low-level players in this game? Why don't you help low-level players fight against griefers, or like, you know, help people rank up and get money in this game? Why instead do you just resort to just jumping people? Oh, great. I thought the horse could actually go down that. I was wrong. Were there any assassination plots against Stalin? A few. But here's what I'll say about Stalin. The reason that there was really never that many assassination plots against Stalin is because it's the fear. Because people didn't know who they can trust in the Soviet Union, and anybody could have been like an informant for Stalin. And if somebody was, you know, captured in like a failed assassination attempt on Stalin, they wouldn't just kill the assassin, they'd kill the entire family. Well, they have RPGs, we know that, and they have some kind of SAM devices, Gunner. Pro, I'm unsubscribing. May have a good future. I do not agree with your views anymore. Good day, sir. What did I say that was wrong, dude? If there's something that you disagree with me, you know, you can say it to me. We can have a discussion, but I don't understand what the issue is. What were you saying about Aisho Speed and Kai-Sen? I don't really know that much about them, dude. If it's about the college comment, literally, I'm not insulting college students when I say this. You know, I've graduated college myself. The only thing I'm saying is that there's a lot of college students that the moment that they graduate from college, they expect to be given a job right away because of their degree. And like, you know, you have college students that expect like a job that's like over $100,000 as their first job, and that's unreasonable. It would have been multiple discs. It wouldn't have worked, El Dragon. Pro, what's your opinion on Putin? Not talk about the current war, but could have been done to prevent him from being a dictator of Russia. Putin destroyed Russia so much. Here is what I will say about Putin. One of the worst mistakes the U.S. has ever made is that right when the Cold War ended, when the Soviet Union collapsed and it became, you know, largely Russia, that the U.S. did not help Russia rebuild. That was the worst mistake that the U.S. made. And the reason for that is because here in the West, we look at the fall of the Soviet Union and we celebrate that, and we say that, you know, it's a good thing, and it was generally a good thing for us. You know, we didn't have to deal with our greatest enemy anymore, trying to spread communism and, you know, harassing us and threatening us with nuclear weapons anymore. But on the other side, if you look at it from Russia's perspective, the collapse of the Soviet Union is one of the worst things in Russian history. It is one of their worst time periods. Like, in the 1990s, Russia's economy was a total mess. It was the dumpster. That's basically what Russia's economy was. The ruble was worthless. The Russian mafia had basically taken over. You had these big oligarchs that basically stole all the Soviet, you know, former Soviet government property, and they auctioned it off. That's why Russia has so many billionaires. And here's the thing is, Richard Nixon, you know, he was a pretty controversial president. But one thing that Nixon was right on, and he was 100% right on, is Nixon said in the 1990s, he said, if we don't help Russia rebuild, if we don't, you know, give aid packages to Russia right now, You know, we could make Russia into an ally of ours, but if we don't help Russia right now, and Russia stays in poverty, what's going to happen is a brutal dictator is going to come to power, and then he's going to blame all the problems in Russia on America in the future. And he's going to cause a lot of problems for America, and we're going to have to deal with another Soviet Union. That's what Nixon said in the 90s. And Nixon predicted it correctly. He said that there's going to be a brutal dictator that's going to come to power in Russia if we don't help Russia, and they are going to blame America for all of their problems. And, you know, he was right on there. You know, he predicted it. So if America had actually helped Russia in the 1990s and helped rebuild their economy and, you know, gave them big aid packages, Russia could have become an ally of ours. But what ended up happening is because we didn't help Russia, Russia got really pissed at us, their economy completely crashed, and then you had a dictator like Putin come to power, and Putin has been, you know, dictator of Russia for, you know, how many decades now, and basically just blames America for all the problems. So that's basically it, is it basically caused a power vacuum in Russia when the Soviet Union collapsed. So that's what I'll say about it. I'm not defending Putin or anything. The only thing I'm saying about it is that if the U.S. had helped Russia rebuild after the Cold War, that he probably would not have come to power. But because, you know, dictators usually come to power in countries where there's, like, massive economic instability. When there's, like, you know, economies of countries are really bad, dictators historically have come to power in those regions. Like, if you look at Italy, Italy's economy in the 1920s was a dumpster. It was terrible. And then who came to power? Mussolini. You look at Germany's economy in the, you know, in the 1930s, it was a dumpster. Who came to power? Hitler. You look at, you know, Russia's economy, you know, during World War I, was a dumpster too. Who came to power? Lenin. So, you know, you look at, you know, Cambodia, their economy was a dumpster too, and who came to power? Pol Pot. So literally you have so many dictators. Dictators always come to power when there's really, you know, really bad economic times in countries. And the reason that dictators are oftentimes come to power when there's really bad economic times in countries all over the world is because people are desperate. They don't have a lot of money. They're poor. And then the dictator basically comes along and basically says, oh, give me absolute power. I'll fix everything. I'll fix all the problems in our country. I'll make us proud of our country. And that's basically how people like Hitler, you know, Mussolini, Pol Pot, you know, Lenin, all of these people, like, you know, you can put Putin on there too. All these people had come to power. They came to power in like really bad economic, you know, times. So that was probably what I would say is the U.S.'s biggest mistake is that they did not help Russia rebuild after the Cold War. If the U.S. helped Russia rebuild after the Cold War, we should have given Russia like really big aid packages. Like we should have given them like millions of dollars in foreign aid and help them rebuild their country and like show them, look, the Cold War's over. We're gonna be friends now. But our biggest mistake was that we didn't help Russia. We just basically when their economy collapsed, we basically said, oh, you know, you fend for yourselves right now. And then the Russians basically got pissed at us, and then you had the brutal dictator that came to power, and now Russia's a dictatorship because of that. So the dictatorship probably could have been avoided in Russia if we had, you know, reached out to them, helped them out, and helped stabilize Russia. But you know, you had Yeltsin come to power. Yeltsin was like one of the most corrupt people, one of the worst leaders in Russian history, and you know, he really turned Russia into a mess. I'm missing the chat. Oh, I'm sorry, Agent Reaper. Let me see. Thank you, Mr. Jesus. I honestly prefer level 1 on GTA 6 online. Do you think that it's unfair those kids never played GTA 5 online, skip GTA 6 online, have rank 1? Wait, what are you talking about GTA? Wait, what are you talking about exactly, Agent Reaper? I'm a bit confused. It's the streets, man, you know what I mean. Thank you, Golden Strides, for the super chat. You're gonna sell your moonshine? No, Brandon, don't do it in here. Brandon, don't. That idiot is gonna come by and he's gonna blow up the entire moonshine sale. Don't do it, Brandon. Don't sell in here. Brandon, I'll help you sell your moonshine a little bit later, off stream, okay? Just don't sell it in here. I'll help you sell it later today, I promise. Just don't sell it in here, because I'm telling you, that guy's gonna come by, the stream sniper, he's gonna blow up the moonshine.
I have a list of new patrons for you. Je suis Marie-Joseph. So, what shall we create?
Let me see here. What's your question, Menace? Would Japan still be an enemy if the U.S. didn't help their economy? Yes. Oh, yeah. 100%. But look, here's the thing is, what we did with Japan, we could have easily done that with Russia. What we did with Japan. like, literally, Japan hated our guts, you know, during World War II, and their country was completely destroyed, but we helped Japan rebuild their country. We gave them, like, really big aid packages, and helped rebuild their country, and helped make sure that their country was a democracy. And Japan today is, you know, a big American ally, and it's one of the best countries in the world to live in. So it was, that was our mistake with Russia. If we had helped Russia and given, and normally I'm not a big person on foreign aid, but that would have been a very big, advantage in that case with Russia. You know, giving Russia big aid packages when the Soviet Union collapsed, helping stabilize their economy, make sure people weren't living in poverty, you know, helped ensure democracy was in Russia. We wouldn't be in this mess that we're in today. But a lot of people in Washington, D.C. didn't think that we needed to help Russia when it collapsed, and unfortunately, we have the mess that we're dealing with today.
This is a dangerous profession. I think one day I shall die for my art.
Guys, hang on a second here. I see Moonshine is, Camps and Properties, Moonshine's shack. I know, Brandon. Guys, just leave the lobby just so we don't have to deal with this person. This person's just gonna follow us around and keep killing us. I saw the Hey Arnold Christmas special. It's really good. I think Mr. Win was one of the several Vietnamese boat people who risked their lives to come to the U.S. So you saw the episode I told you about, Gunnar. You liked it then. And here's the thing is, I would suggest you watch more of Hey Arnold, not just that episode, because Mr. Win is actually one of the main characters. He appears in a lot of episodes in Hey Arnold. He's actually one of the most popular characters on the show. But he, yeah, and Hey Arnold reminds me a lot of when I was a kid, because it reminds me a lot of New York, heavily reminds me of New York, especially the subways in the show. Yeah, well, Nixon basically predicted the dictatorship in Russia. And look, Nixon was not an amazing president, but he wasn't a stupid guy. You know, you can't make the argument that he was a stupid guy. He was fairly intelligent, and it's insane how Nixon had predicted everything that would happen in Russia. He predicted everything. He was spot on with that. It was crazy how he called all of it. There have been a lot of players in Battlefront 2? Let me form a new posse here. If he joins again, I'm just gonna make a private session, or maybe just go play poker. Did I know Hey Arnold is set in Washington State? I don't think so. It doesn't look anything like Seattle to me. Hey Arnold City looks more like Chicago or New York to me. It doesn't look to me like Seattle personally. Sometimes you gotta break some omelets and make some eggs, you know what I'm saying? That's what, yeah, Manny Escuela says that. I always kind of found it funny how his name is Manny School, because that's what his name translates to in Spanish, Manny School. Why didn't the US send aid to Russia like they did with Germany and Japan? Because they didn't think they needed to. What is your thoughts on the Argentinian president? I have a good feeling about him considering he is a libertarian. What else? What I'll say about the president of Argentina is I like him for the most part. Yeah, I think I generally like him. The one thing I will say is that the only really bad thing that I've seen him do is that cryptocurrency that he did. That was kind of bad. That was he launching like a coin. That was kind of a bad thing he did. But a lot of his other, policies have worked in Argentina and has reduced Argentina's debt. And not only that, he's also reduced inflation. Like, inflation has gone down so much in Argentina because of him. But the thing about Javier Milei is he's very important for libertarians because he is the only libertarian president ever elected to a country. I think so. I don't think a libertarian has ever been elected to a major country before besides Argentina. I think Argentina was the only country where a libertarian has ever become president. And so because of his success in Argentina, that might empower libertarian, parties in other countries, and people might give libertarian parties a chance in other countries. Typically, a lot of times people say that libertarians are crazy people, but you see that it's worked out pretty well for Argentina. Pro, can you send me a Posse invite? Posse's open, so you should just be able to join it. Oh, great. Guys, the person's here again. My God, who does stuff like this, right? I'm putting everyone in the Moonshine Shack to protect everyone right now. This is honestly pathetic. You gotta just follow me lobby to lobby to do stuff like this. Like, it's that I don't even understand what the problem is. I'm helping people make money on this game. I'm not in the drama. I'm not causing problems. Like, Lily, go fight some, other level 1000s. I forgot what you said exactly, but Assassin's Creed 2, Venice and Florence are their own countries. Tuscany also, yes. Venice, Florence, Tuscany, and Rome were all independent countries in the past. That is true. He's not gonna leave. He will just keep using dynamite arrows. It's not even worth it. I bet the guy will upload a video of him harassing you. Yeah, probably. It'll probably be like some 5-minute stupid montage or some crappy music, and it'll probably be like owning the professional on Reddit Online. It's probably what it'll be like. The editing will probably be horrible too. Is Claude in GTA 3 worse than Brad in GTA 5? It's a little bit of a tough question to answer. Maybe because Brad seems to be more sadistic than Claude. Brad is maybe is a little worse. How come the Libertarian Party doesn't even have a seat in the Senate, or were they state governor? Are you talking about in America? Is that what you're talking about here, or are you talking about Argentina? In Argentina, they have seats. In Argentina, they're in power. Professional's the best streamer. Thank you, dude. Yeah, in the U.S. The reason that the Libertarian Party has no seats in the government is the same reason that, like, the Greens, for example, have no seats in the government. So, like, the Greens are an alternate left-wing party, and the Libertarians, I would say, are an alternate right-wing party. But the reason that both there are no third parties with any other seats is because people in the the system is set up to favor the two parties, primarily Republicans and Democrats, and also because people don't ever vote for third parties. The reason they don't is because they think that the third party has no chance to win. And when you really think about it, technically they're right. They don't really have much of a chance to win because everybody thinks the exact same way. They think, we're not going to vote for a third party. The only place where third parties have won in America is in Alaska. In Alaska, independent candidates have won, like candidates who are not part of any party, like for governor. Like, Alaska's had several governors that are independent. They're not part of any party. And the reason for that is because Alaska is so far away from mainland U.S. that they have, like, their own brand of politics. But, like, when it comes to actually mainland U.S., it's like you will never have, like, a libertarian actually win, like a governorship or, like, that. And here's the thing is, if a libertarian did actually win, like, something like a Senate seat or a governorship, I guarantee you both the Democrats and the Republicans would go after that person. Like, they would be harassing that person nonstop over and over and over again. That's what they would be doing. So it'd be impossible for libertarians to get anything done as well. No, they won in Wyoming for state rep maybe, but, like, I don't think a libertarian would ever win, like, the Senate or governorship. You know, it reminds me of Claude and Catalina inspired Bonnie and Clyde. I don't think Claude and Catalina were really inspired by Bonnie and Clyde. I don't think so. Maybe in a way, a modern way when you think about it. What do you think about China's invasion of Tibet? I know that Tibet was not a democratic state back then, but what the Chinese did was still terrible. Oh yeah, and here's what I will tell you. Do you know what China's argument for conquering Tibet is? It's one of the stupidest arguments I've ever heard. Like, the reason that China claims they conquered Tibet is they claim that Tibet was not a free country, and they claim that that India would have conquered like Tibet. That's one of the stupidest things that I've heard. And even if that is true, even if India wanted to conquer Tibet, doesn't make you wanting conquering Tibet first justified. So yeah, I think Tibet is an independent country. I don't recognize it as part of China. I think it is an independent country. I think they're an independent people. I don't think they are, part of China. I don't care how angry, people in China get at me for that. But that's, it's imperialism. It's what it is. It's really imperialism. It is imperialism, and you could argue it's a form of colonialism as well, because China is stealing their resources, stealing their money. So you can definitely make the argument that what China is doing is a form of colonialism in Tibet. But also, here's the thing is, China doesn't just occupy Tibet, China also occupies East Turkestan. It's another region. That's where the Uyghurs live too, and that was a region they conquered as well. That's not a part of China. But here's the thing is, China is one of the most imperialist countries on this planet, because China has border disputes with almost every single country. Like, there are parts of Mongolia that China claims. Like, huge parts of Mongolia, China claims that it's their land. There is China has disputes with Vietnam, your country, Gunner. Like, they claim parts of islands near Vietnam. They start building artificial islands there. They claim parts of the Philippines. They have problems with the Philippines. They have problems with Tajikistan. China actually stole 30% of Tajikistan's land. A lot of people don't know that. So a number of years ago, I think it was 10 years ago, China basically told Tajikistan to give them 30% of their land or they'll invade. And Tajikistan got so scared because it's a poor country, doesn't have a lot of resources, they just gave China 30% of their land. They just signed it away and gave it to China. It's horrible. And China even has border disputes with Russia. China claims that the city of Vladivostok, which is Russia's far eastern city, that it's part of China historically. So it's almost every single country that has a border with China has some kind of dispute, some kind of problem. It's literally China has problems with every country almost it borders, everyone. Turkmenistan is a worse dictatorship than China. Yes, you're right on that. Turkmenistan is worse than China. But that doesn't make China that great either. China has really, hurt Tibetan culture, yes. Kazakhstan is a dictatorship, but it's the least psychotic dictatorship when you compare it to China or Turkmenistan. So if I had to choose, would I rather live in Kazakhstan, China, or Turkmenistan, or I live in Kazakhstan than live in China or Turkmenistan? Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna go to poker right now, Brandon. That's what I'm gonna do. I will be playing Saints Row 1 on the 20th anniversary next year. Hustler. Do they have any issues with Kazakhstan? Not that I know of about that. Is Black Hawk Down's incident, is it based on true events? Yeah, it is based on true events. Basically, here's what happened with Somalia. Somalia is... The thing about Somalia is that Somalia used to be a brutal communist dictatorship in the past. So when you really think of communism, you don't typically think of Somalia, for example. But Somalia was a communist country in the past. And basically what happened is Ethiopia, Somalia's neighbor, was also a communist nation. Somalia, when it was a communist military dictatorship, they had claimed parts of Ethiopia as their own country, and they invaded Ethiopia. Oh, I missed the chat. I'm sorry, agent. Let me take a look here. And GTA San Andreas first mission, Big Smoke. Have you noticed walking cutscene, CJ Sweet Smoke, and riders inspired by NWA? No, I didn't know that. But yeah, Ryder was always meant to be a traitor. I did make a video on that one. Did you get the chance to see that, Agent Reaper? Thank you for the super chat. But what basically happened was in the 70s, Somalia invaded Ethiopia. And you had two communist countries that were fighting each other, Ethiopia and Somalia. Now, Somalia wanted the Soviet Union to help them. The Soviet Union rejected that and helped Ethiopia. What the U.S. did was the U.S. supported, the U.S. ended up supporting Somalia. And the reason the U.S. supported Somalia, even though it was a communist country, was just to piss off the Soviet Union. That was the main reason the U.S. supported Somalia. And what ended up happening is Somalia lost that war. And the war led to the collapse of both communist governments. So the Ethiopian, communist government collapsed, but Ethiopia largely stabilized itself afterwards. Where Somalia, on the other hand, collapsed, like, completely. Like, their dictatorship collapsed. And ever since the 80s, when the Somalian communist dictatorship has collapsed, Somalia has never had another government again. So that's basically the backstory. It invaded Ethiopia, and then their invasion backfired. Their economy was completely ruined. They lost so much, money, soldiers. And then it was pretty much, their economy was, that's it, it was done. Their economy collapsed, and they never rebuilt a new government. They never had a new federal government. Technically, Somalia does have a government today, but it really has no power. And also, Somalia is a very, very dangerous country. It's one of the most dangerous countries in the world. It might be the most dangerous country on the planet, actually, when you think about it. Every part of Somalia is dangerous. The eastern parts of Somalia the coast, are completely controlled by pirates. So the pirates rule the coast. The inner parts of Somalia, inside the country itself, are controlled by militias, who are just, mass murderers. And then you have on the, in the north of the country are controlled by terrorists. So literally Somalia just has, terrorists in the north, pirates to the east, and militias to the south. And it's a complete disaster. It's one of the most dangerous places in the world. But the reason that the U.S. went into Somalia, that was actually one of the few times where U.S. intervention was kind of justified. What basically happened was the militias in Somalia had mass murdered 250,000 people. Like, they had just been doing massacres, killing so many people, and the Red Cross came into Somalia to help a lot of people. And the militia started attacking the Red Cross, started attacking these volunteers and kidnapping them and holding them hostage. And then the U.S. basically sent in, the military to, save the hostages and, try to deal with these militias. And that's basically where the story Black Hawk Down happened. But I would say it was justified, and those militias were really evil. Like, the people that the U.S. fought against in the intervention in Somalia, those guys were really evil. Like, those militias, they were really, really bad guys. Really, really bad guys. Like, these were mass murderers. What is check in poker? Check is basically when you want to move on to the next turn. You're not betting anything more, and you're just the current bet that's on. You're moving on. Next person. Maybe I could make possibly a Tommy Angelo video, but it'd be, the Tommy Angelo video would be, right after I beat Mafia Definitive Edition. Is Somalia really worse than Afghanistan? I don't know. Both places are really, really bad. The only difference is Afghanistan has a government, but it's evil. But it's, yeah, both of them are just really bad places. Who led these malicious warlords? I enjoyed the history lessons. Thank you. Well, the reason people think that Ryder wasn't supposed to be a traitor is because people like him so much as a character and they can't accept that he was supposed to be a traitor from the start. Do any groups control Somalia? No. There's so many different warring factions in Somalia. There's even a part of Somalia, in the north of Somalia, Somaliland, which it declared itself independent from Somalia. Holding on this. I would have had one pair, but it was a 3. Wouldn't have been that good. Did Claude ever respect anyone in GTA 3? Claude respected Donald Love. Donald Love was the only character Claude really respected. Oh, it was, they were holding him hostage because Donald Love wanted him, Josh. Can you play Scarface The World Is Yours and Vice City Stories for the 20th anniversary next year? I could do that, yeah. Yeah, I will do a lore video on Henry, and it'll be in the summertime when I get to Mafia 2. Damn, I don't even have one card matching right now. I have a good hand, but... Okay. I've never really met anybody famous, Jorge. At least I don't think so. Damn, not even one pair. Somebody's definitely got a pair here. I won? Nobody had a pair but me? Well, I mean, I had the best hand, but... I mean, that was... What do you think about the Vietnamese government seeing themselves as heroes for ending the Khmer Rouge, even though they were the ones who backed Pol Pot initially? What I will say about that is Vietnam doesn't just consider themselves heroes. Vietnam also lies about the reason that they went to war. So, like, Vietnam says that the reason they entered Cambodia was to stop the Cambodian genocide. That's not true. Vietnam did not invade Cambodia to stop the Cambodian genocide. The Cambodian genocide was already going on for, like, a year and a half, or I think 2 years, by the time that Vietnam had actually invaded. And Pol Pot had already murdered 2 million people. So Vietnam did not care about the massacres that he was doing in Cambodia. The reason that Vietnam invaded Cambodia was because Cambodian soldiers, the Khmer Rouge soldiers, crossed into South Vietnam, which was, occupied by North Vietnam at the time. The Vietnam War was over. And they had basically mass murdered people. In Ba Chuch village, I think it was, they killed 3,000 Vietnamese people. It was really brutal, like beheadings, mass murders. And that's the point when Vietnam decided to invade Cambodia at that point. So it wasn't ever, they didn't want to care about the Cambodian genocide that was going on in Cambodia itself. It was only until the point when the Khmer Rouge soldiers crossed into Vietnam and started killing their people, that's when they invaded. Does Russia still regret selling Alaska to the US for $7.2 million? Thank you, Minion Dave. And what currency is that? I don't know if I've seen that one before. But yes, Russia does regret selling Alaska 100%. The thing is, Russia did not want the UK getting Alaska. So they fought about giving it to America, because America and the UK were enemies. America and Britain were actually enemies at that time period. Oh, that's Vietnamese money. Oh, okay. Thank you, Minion Dave. Thank you for the super chat, dude. Do I know any other games besides Men of Valor about the Vietnam War? There is Black Ops, the Black Ops series. There is Shell Shock. I have to think about it. If you weren't doing YouTube right now, what would you be doing for work? Just managing my rental properties, I guess, then. Pro Zero. Do I think Loke is a manipulator? In a way, yeah. What is a terrible dictator that's often forgotten about by people? A really bad dictator that people don't really remember. I have to think about that one for a moment here. The dictator of Turkmenistan. I forget his name. He has like a really long name. I always keep forgetting his name. Hang on. The one right now is the son of the current dictator, but his name is Gurbanguly Beredi Muhammedov, if I'm reading his name correctly. Yeah, the dictator of Turkmenistan. Really, really evil guy. Not a lot of people know him. Yeah, North Korean ship capsized with disaster. I know this taxi work is triple money in GTA Online this week. Do you think you'll do a 1 million taxi work only stream on Sunday? I could probably go for that. It would be a pretty rough stream, but we could probably go for something like that. Folding. These cards are terrible. Thank you for being a member of my channel for 4.5 years, Eric. It had a little bit of zombies in it, Assassin Wolf, but it was a Vietnam War game, too. The first one was Vietnam War, also. What is the worst country to live in besides North Korea? Turkmenistan. We really haven't had any Korean War games when you think about it. Usually get around 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Well, Syria kind of is a dictatorship right now at the moment. That new leader of Syria, I don't trust him at all. I don't. He was a former member of Al-Qaeda, and his government was also responsible for atrocities against Christians and Alawites in southern Syria. So I don't trust him at all. Maybe I can get a straight here in these cards. Okay, let's see. What is it, Menace? You reposted your comment? Menace, can you just say your comment again? Am I pro-Palestine or Israel? Neither. I'm on neither side in that conflict. I'm on the side of peace. I just want the war to end, and I want the killing and the violence to stop. I don't support Palestine or Israel. I just want the violence to stop. So I'm on the side of peace. Michael Francis, an ex-capo. I don't know if you heard of him. Yes, he was in New York. He was part of the Gambino family. I've watched his YouTube channel before. I know who you're talking about, yes. Oh, I didn't know that, Gunner. It was Colombo family. Oh, it was the Colombos, not Gambinos. I'm sorry, then. Then my bad. Oh yeah, I think Poland can become a very powerful, country and rich country. It's dumb how that'll be considered a controversial statement nowadays. The thing is, though, is I will tell you, though, like, half a year ago, I was doing a GT Online stream, and this guy actually asked me if I support Israel or Palestine, and I said I don't support either side. I just, I'm completely against the violence, and I just want the war to end. And he got really pissed at me, and he accused me of supporting genocide. And I was like, dude, seriously? Like, I literally said I don't support either side, and I don't support violence. I want it, I want the war to end, and I want there to be peace and the killing to stop. And I got really pissed that the guy just, accused me of that. Why do you not use a PC? I do use a PC for my streaming, but for games, I do play some PC games, like I do playthroughs of them. But I've just always been a console guy. That's just always been me. I don't have any... I don't know if I would call him independent, though, Zach. I'm sorry about the stream cutting out at times. If it happens, guys, just refresh the stream. No, I would say it was murder, Lewis, because when she led Agent Hicks to the cargo hold, she planned on killing him. So I would say it was murder. Yeah, about Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt fought in the Spanish-American War with the Rough Riders. He fought the Battle of San Juan Hill. That was that one. Yep. They used lever-action rifles on their and were cavalry. Do I think Lynch and Trevor would be friends if they met? Maybe. They might actually get along. Is Stalingrad still worse than the failure of Operation Market Garden? Well, Stalingrad was the worst battle in human history. It was a terrible battle. Over 1 million people died at Stalingrad. Okay. What happened to the Ancelottis after GTA 4? Well, they still stayed a family. You know, they tried to kill Rocco, but there we go. Why did he go in with those cards? I did watch Schindler's List when I was a kid. Schindler's List is a really good movie, but it's a really depressing movie. Like it's a very, very sad movie. Thank you, Suspect 13. Rocco probably changed his name. And they probably weren't able to find him because of that. Oh, I got some good cards here. Okay, I'm good. I got some good cards here. Yeah, Warsaw 44 was a very depressing movie. And also, about Warsaw 44, Warsaw 44, yeah, it heavily inspired 63 Days. Oh, I'm gonna definitely win this now. Oh, I'm definitely gonna win this. Is there any good open world game, World War II games besides Saboteur? I don't think so. Not that I can think of. What about Sisu, the movie? Well, Sisu, that's the Finnish movie. It takes place in, like, Finland, during the Laplands War, when the Nazis were evacuating from Finland. And there were still some Nazi holdouts there. Oh, look at these cards. These are good. I hope we don't get any face cards here. It's the guy, the Finnish guy with his dog in the movie. I remember the movie, yeah. Let me see, Menace. Thank you, Agent Reaper. I don't see the comment. Can you make the comment again? Okay, I just really hope there's no face cards here. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna win this hand. There we go, 1. I was hoping he would bet more, but... I think it was like the cartoony Brothers in Arms game, right? That's what it was, Gunner? He doesn't identify as an independent, Zach. Here we go. Take this. Do I think Diaz would have made Tommy a made man if he hadn't taken over his business? Also love the channel. Yeah, I think so. But the thing is, it would have only been a matter of time until Diaz would have killed Tommy into some anger outburst. Because, you know, Diaz is a very unstable guy. I would disagree with you. I think that GTA 4 does have chapters. Like, there's the Broker and Dukes chapter at the start, and there's the Bohan chapter, the Algonquin chapter, then the Alderdy chapter. How do you feel about confrontations? You mean like arguments? I usually tend to avoid arguments. I don't like getting involved in arguments with people, especially in public. Yeah, I typically don't like that. Would I ask the Sniper Elite gaming developers to make a Sniper Elite Korean War game? Yeah, I could do that. I do have contact with them still. I want Carl to be the main character in the next Sniper Elite game. I mean, I didn't necessarily dislike Harry, but Carl is more the face of the Sniper Elite series. Oh, okay, Brendan. What advice would you give to your younger self? Quit retail. I shouldn't have stayed in retail for 6 years. One of the worst mistakes I made in my life. What if General Lee accepted Abraham Lincoln's offer to be General of the Union? The war would have gone on for would have ended a lot quicker if Lee was the Union general. Thank you, Austin, for the super chat. I didn't know that, Gunner. Well, I'm glad you had an okay time, Alex. It was just while you worked in retail. Oh man, sometimes some of that stuff was like really bad in retail. You know a lot of history. I bet you would have made a great history teacher. Well, thank you, Chris. I don't know how good I would have been explaining it to kids history, but you just reposted. Saw my comment. No, hang on. Let me see here. No, I'm looking at your last 3 comments. I just reposted. Saw my comment. Can you see it now? No, I don't see it, Menace. I'm sorry. Does anybody see Menace's comment? Do you think that if Lynch didn't hit Kane, they would have been able to save Lynch's wife? It's entirely possible. Kane was a good shot, so he could have probably saved them. And thank you, it's Austin, for the super chat. I'm sorry about some of the stuff with the stream today, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I think Vlad was a great villain, yeah. Red Dead Revolver is on the list of playthroughs I have to do. I haven't done it, though. What's for dinner? I don't know. Maybe I'll cook some chicken today. I don't really want to get into politics, though, Zach. Yeah, and Loke's missions are mostly in the richer parts of Los Santos. Yeah, I might play the first Sniper Elite game one day. I don't know if I would be good at doing a history channel. It's one thing talking on the stream, but making videos about it, I don't know how... Okay, guys, I think I'm probably going to wrap up the stream here, get something to eat. Is there anything you guys want to ask me before I go? I'll still stick. And also, guys, for the lag on the stream today and the crashes, I'm sorry about that. I will look into my OBS settings, and hopefully this does not happen on the next stream on Sunday. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. Can you just drop some random history on us? Well, about what? You'd have to give me a topic. Does anybody see Menace's comment? I don't see. It's only the comments where he's saying I reposted a comment. I don't see what he's asking me. It's not appearing, Menace. What am I doing after Days Gone? Brothers in Arms. Yeah, we'll do Brothers in Arms. Not your fault. I'm convinced it's a YouTube issue. Well, thank you, dude. I only see your comments where you're saying reposted, Menace. For a lot of the people that got drafted in a way, yes, Gunner. Because they were just draftees. But they were fighting for a bad government. I'm sorry about the lag on the stream today, guys. I heard Gears of War is coming to PlayStation. It's kind of weird seeing a Gears of War game on PlayStation. But I guess I'll be going here, guys. I'll have another part of Days Gone tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like. And I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, wait, what is this? From Leia. Saw your GTA DLC rank video, and you said Arena Wars is better than Super Sport. I have to disagree, because at least with an update, you don't waste money. Maybe, but I would... My justification for that is that Arena Wars at least gave us something different. It wasn't like stunt races like with Super Sport, and it gave us a new property. That's what I would say about it, Leia. Thank you for the super chat, though. But yeah, I would say Arena Wars, at least it was expensive, it was overpriced, but at least it gave us something different, and it gave us a new property. Leia, are you still here, by the way? Did you hear what I said? I just want to make sure Leia heard what I said before I go here, but... I'm sorry about the lag on the stream today, guys. I'm really sorry about it. Yeah, it was just, I don't know what's been going on with the stream, why it's been doing that stuff too. It's, oh, you heard what I said. Okay, Leia. Or Lee, well, thank you for the super chat. But that was basically my reasoning, is at least it gave us a new property. But, thank you guys for hanging out with me. A vlogging channel, I don't know, I do those retail videos, you know, talk about retail, I guess it's the closest to it. But, I'll be going here, guys. I will have another part of Days Gone tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and thank you, Unknown Notion. Thank you for the super chat, Unknown Notion. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, dude. But I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.